September 18th, 2022. A moment that sent shockwaves through English football. A 15-year-old playing among giants. But how did Ethan Nwaneri, a kid from London, go from academy prospect to breaking records before he could even drive? In the bustling borough of Enfield, North London, on March 21st, 2007, a child named Ethan Chidibere Nwaneri was born into a family with deep Nigerian roots. From an early age, Ethan's world revolved around football. His parents, ardent supporters of Arsenal FC, often shared stories of legendary matches, igniting a passion in young Ethan that would shape his destiny. At just 8 years old, Ethan's prodigious talent caught the attention of scouts, leading him to join Arsenal's esteemed Hale End Academy. Here, amidst rigorous training sessions and academic commitments at St John's Senior School in Enfield, Ethan honed his skills, balancing the demands of education and elite sports. His dedication was unwavering, often staying back after sessions to perfect his dribbling and shooting techniques. Ethan's rise through the youth ranks was meteoric. By the age of 14, he was competing against players several years his senior in Arsenal's under-18 team, showcasing not just skill, but a maturity beyond his years. His vision on the field, combined with an innate ability to navigate tight spaces, made him a standout talent. Coaches and teammates alike were in awe of his footballing intelligence and the flair he brought to the game. Off the pitch, Ethan remained grounded. Family gatherings were filled with laughter, support, and, of course, football discussions. His younger brother, Emerson, also showed promise in the sport, and the two would often engage in friendly competitions, pushing each other to excel. Their bond was a testament to the family's close-knit nature and shared love for the beautiful game. Ethan's journey from a passionate young boy in Enfield to a rising star in Arsenal's ranks is a story of talent, hard work, and the unwavering support of family. As he continues to develop, the football world eagerly anticipates the heights this young prodigy will reach. It was a crisp autumn afternoon at the Emirates Stadium. The floodlights bathed the emerald green pitch in a soft glow as Arsenal prepared to face Brentford. The stands buzzed with anticipation, but few in the crowd could have guessed they were about to witness history. Among the substitutes sat a boy who at first glance looked too young to be there. Ethan Nwaneri, just 15 years old, had been named on the bench by Mikel Arteta. It was a bold move, but those who had watched him in Arsenal's academy knew why he was there. His touch was silk, his vision beyond his years, and his hunger for the game insatiable. As the clock ticked into the final minutes, Arteta turned to the teenager. "Go on, enjoy yourself," he said, with a knowing smile. And just like that, history was rewritten. Ethan Nwaneri became the youngest player ever to feature in a Premier League match. For Nwaneri, it had all happened so fast. Just a year ago, he was playing for Arsenal's U16s, dazzling coaches with his effortless dribbles and composure in midfield. He was the kind of player who could turn a game with a single touch, something Arsenal's youth coaches whispered about in training sessions. But his rise wasn't without its hurdles. Growing up in North London, Ethan knew talent alone wasn't enough. He had seen others fall by the wayside. He trained harder, stayed longer after sessions, and studied the game obsessively. He idolised Arsenal legends like Cesc Fabregas and Santi Cazorla, but his ambition was to carve his own path. The call to join the first team had come unexpectedly. A few injuries had left Arsenal short in midfield, and Arteta, always a believer in youth, took a gamble. When Nwaneri walked onto the pitch, he wasn't just playing for himself. He was carrying the dreams of every young footballer who had ever laced up a pair of boots. The match itself was a blur. He touched the ball just a few times, but that didn't matter. The moment had arrived, and he had seized it. As the final whistle blew, Arsenal fans roared in appreciation. They knew they had just seen the birth of something special. Now, as Ethan Nwaneri looks ahead, his story is only beginning. The pressure will mount, the expectations will grow. But if his journey so far has shown anything, it's that he thrives when the stakes are highest. From Hale End to the Emirates, this was just the first chapter of what promises to be an extraordinary career. The moment Ethan Nwaneri stepped onto the Emirates pitch as the youngest player in Premier League history, his life changed forever. 15 years old, just a kid, still figuring out his place in the world. One moment, he was playing academy football against boys barely older than him. The next, he was the face of Arsenal's future, plastered across headlines, debated by pundits and scrutinised by millions on social media. The media had crowned him before he had even laced up for a full senior match. Some called him a generational talent, others doubted whether he was ready. Opinions flew in from every corner, former players, journalists, fans, even rival managers weighing in on whether Arsenal had made the right call. The pressure was relentless. Every U18 game, every training session was suddenly magnified. Scouts lined the sidelines, journalists dissected his every touch, and social media flooded with clips. Some highlighting his brilliance, others picking apart any mistake. For Nwaneri, this was a new world. Football had always been his escape, his passion. But now it came with expectations so heavy they could crush even the most seasoned professionals. He wasn't just playing anymore, he was performing under a microscope. At Arsenal, Mikel Arteta and his staff knew what was coming. They had seen how hype could derail young talents. The club shielded him, managed his minutes carefully, and ensured he stayed grounded. But no amount of protection could fully silence the noise outside. Rival fans labelled him overhyped. Some questioned whether Arsenal were rushing him, while others whispered about interest from European giants, eager to snatch him away before he could truly blossom. Yet through it all, Nwaneri remained focused. He wasn't blind to the noise. He saw the headlines, heard the debates, but he refused to let them define him. Football wasn't about proving people wrong. It was about proving to himself that he belonged. His challenge now isn't just to break into Arsenal's first team. It's to navigate the treacherous waters of modern football's media frenzy. To balance talent with patience, ambition with reality. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be dips in form, injuries, moments of doubt. But if he can weather the storm of early hype, Ethan Nwaneri won't just be remembered for being Arsenal's youngest debutant. He'll be remembered for fulfilling the promise that started it all. The football world loves a prodigy. There's something magical about a teenager stepping onto the biggest stage, defying the odds and carrying the weight of expectation like it's nothing. But for every Lionel Messi or Jude Bellingham, there's an equally long list of names who once had the world at their feet, only to fade into obscurity. So where does Ethan Nwaneri fit? At just 15 years old, he made Premier League history, becoming the youngest player ever to play in England's top flight. The headlines exploded. The future of Arsenal! The next English superstar. The hype was instant, the expectations astronomical. But football isn't kind to Wonderkids. One moment, you're the next big thing. The next, you're a forgotten name buried in a list of what could have been. Arsenal fans have seen this before. Jack Wilshere was supposed to dominate midfield for a decade. Carlos Vela was compared to Bergkamp. Even younger prospects like Gideon Zelalem were once hailed as generational talents. The path from prodigy to legend is brutal, and only a few make it. The question now is, will Nwaneri? His talent is undeniable. Coaches describe him as technically gifted, composed beyond his years, and capable of dictating a game from midfield. He's already training with the first team, learning from world-class players under a manager who trusts youth. Mikel Arteta isn't rushing him. Arsenal is carefully managing his development, ensuring he doesn't burn out before he truly blossoms. With the right guidance, he could become the kind of player that defines an era at the club. But talent alone isn't enough. History has proven that early success can be a curse. The media scrutiny, the pressure to deliver, the constant comparisons, these things break players before they ever truly reach their peak. Will Nwaneri get the right opportunities? Will he stay grounded and keep improving? Will he be patient enough to wait for his moment? Or will the lure of instant stardom elsewhere tempt him away? The next few years will decide everything. If he stays focused, avoids the hype, and keeps developing, he could be Arsenal's next superstar. If not, he risks joining the long list of forgotten Wonderkids, remembered only in nostalgic conversations about what could have been. For now, Ethan Nwaneri's future is unwritten. The talent is there, the stage is set. The only question is, will he take it? From playing in the streets of London to stepping onto the grandest stage at just 15, Ethan Nwaneri's story is just beginning. But one question remains. Is he the future of English football? Drop your predictions in the comments. Will Nwaneri become Arsenal's next legend?